Hello and welcome to a new series by CBK Gaming, Throwback Thursday, where we look at games older than 10 years that have had influence on our choice of games now. So, the first game in this series is Acquire, published currently by Hasbro Games. I remember it as an Avalon Hill game in its bookcase style game. What is Acquire, and if you can get it, is it a game that you should have in your collection? Well, the answer to that is yes, order it now. It is a phenomenal game for between 2 and 6 players, bartering shares, buying, selling, merging companies. And the biggest draw for me was I played this has got so much nostalgic value to me. I remember playing this with my family. My mum used to win this a lot. We haven't played it with my parents for a long time. But it always reminds me of those Saturdays or Sundays spent playing this game with my parents and my sister. And that's fantastic. That's what board games should do, bring good memories.
Yeah.
But the real benefit to this, to my parents, I think, is we didn't argue over it. Whereas some of the other games where we were either throwing dice or it was much more competitive. Although this is competitive, it doesn't feel that you have to combat your opponent. You're not taking active steps in stopping them from doing something or achieving something. You win by doing the best you can on the board. And I just think that resulted in there being less arguments, which is great and fantastic for families. So what is Acquire about and how do you play it? Well, you have a grid of tiles. You have 6 tiles in your hand, and you slowly lay tiles one at a time each turn until 2 tiles are placed together, which then creates a company. You choose between there are 3 different types of companies. There's the high-end luxury market, there are the midpoint companies, and then there are the cheaper companies. That means that to buy shares in those companies is slightly cheaper. The mid-priced ones, obviously the middle of the road, and then you've got the expensive ones. You pick the company you're going to build. As more tiles are laid, the price of that company becomes more expensive. When it gets to 10 tiles, it can no longer be taken over, so it's considered safe. The idea is to merge your companies and build a number of companies on the board that are the most powerful. And you can take some of them over, and you should try and aim to have the most shares in those companies. You then, when they get taken over, you can earn shareholder bonuses, and that's how you build up your share portfolio, buying and selling the shares that way. It sounds very dry. I think a lot of people say, well, it's about share dealing. Oh, it doesn't sound very interesting. Actually, it's really good fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that it's about shares and stocks. It's the concept and the engine behind the game that is really good fun. And I think everybody I've introduced this game to, and I feel for all my friends because I do make them play it. I have bought it as Christmas presents for friends previously because it's a game I want to share with people, and I think it is a phenomenal game.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, when you first said about it, I myself don't understand stocks and shares fully, so I was worried that I wasn't going to understand this game, how to play it, why I was playing it, and yet it is so easy to pick up. And the mechanic, it is a basic mechanics, but there's, I don't know, it's not a heavy strategy, but there is a thinking about, do I want to place this tile or this tile? And that's all you've really got to think about is which tile do you want to place. But then it's because this one's going, if I place this tile, it grows my company. If I place this one, it means that company merges in with this one. What do I want to do this round? That's as complicated as it gets, I think. And I found it so nice and easy to pick up, and I understood it.
You're right. I think where it becomes more complex is working out what shares to buy.
Yeah.
And that, you just have to learn by playing the game.
Yeah. And it only took me a couple of games until I was on par with you and the others, and actually being quite competitive and going, I've got a chance of winning this. And to be able to do that in a couple of games shows how good and easy this is to pick up. And it's really good fun.
Well, there's a reason that this is a very popular game, and it's been around since the late 60s. I think 1966, if I'm right. And it really is. It's a phenomenally good game, where some of them have been let down. So I think one of the originals was a wooden board with wooden components. I would have really liked that. I think that this deserves that sort of board. Looking at the green aspect of this game, there's a lot of plastic, just as we have a lot of plastic in the miniature games that we have. Some of these plastics can be recycled. I don't believe these ones are. And I think we need the company to the next game to publish, acquire, to start looking at those alternatives, to look at wooden components. This with wooden components would be absolutely brilliant. It doesn't need the plastic, and I would snap it up as a shot. I think ease of learning, the engine, the driver behind everything, as Karen said, it's a very easy game to learn, very easy game to pick up, something you can easily take on holiday. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It is a normal size game, but it doesn't take up a lot of space on the table.
No. I mean, we've stretched this out. It can be more compact than this if you are limited for table space.
It's also worth noting it can take about an hour to an hour and a half to play, and then it's a case of totaling up all the numbers at the end of the game and who's got the most cards, etc, etc. But overall, this is a fantastic, fun, and that's the most important thing, fun game that I think a lot of people have heard of, but not a lot of people have played. You see people refer to Acquire a lot in various chats, but not a lot of people have had the opportunity to play it, and I think that is criminal. I think people should have that opportunity. So if you can find a good copy of it, it is worth picking up. It is a really good game. I don't think there's much else to say about it.
There isn't. It's not a huge complex game, so there's not loads to talk about. But it is just so enjoyable. And also, I love just having the money back, because I haven't played a game like this since I was a child. And just having the bank and changing the notes over. And I really enjoyed that, but without the heaviness of family arguments over Monopoly. This is a nicer game.
So all that's left is to say thank you for watching. It is very much appreciated. If you have enjoyed this, please consider liking and subscribing. It means a lot to us, and we're trying to build the community up. We will be doing once a month, there will be a Throwback Thursday where we will review a game that is older than 10 years, and either older than 10 years or has an important place in our lives. So whether that's Chris, Karen or myself, it'll be a game that's either important to us or a game that's older than 10 years. So thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you further videos as we go along. Bye.
Bye.